One that you thought the Vatican protected souls, but tonight you're assigned to protect its secrets. 2. That the office is silent, stone walls, old wood desk, heavy curtains blocking Rome's lights. That a man from the Secretariat of State slides a folder across the table. No small talk. No introduction, just a stamped label. You open the file. Internal complaints from 3 different dioceses. Point 5. Journalists asking questions, lawyers preparing statements. 6. That you expected theology. Instead, you're reading crisis reports. That the Catholic Church has existed for nearly 2,000 years. Empires collapsed around it. Kings disappeared. Governments changed, but the institution remained, not by accident. Sometimes survival requires people like you. And tonight your work begins. Level 1, the Church Insider. Your job title sounds harmless. Legal assistant. You work inside offices connected to the Vatican's communication structure. Part of the machine that supports the dicastery for communication and reports upward toward the Secretariat of State. Most of your day is paperwork, letters from dioceses around the world, complaints, disputes, legal questions. The Catholic Church operates in more than 190 countries, thousands of dioceses, billions of believers. Problems appear everywhere. Most never reach the news. Your job is reviewing internal reports before they escalate. First it feels routine, then you read a document marked urgent. A local controversy. But the press already knows. One headline could travel across the world within hours. You realize something important. And that the church isn't just managing faith, that it's managing reputation. And reputation is fragile. That a senior advisor takes the file from your desk. You'll learn quickly, he says. This isn't theology anymore. It's damage control. Level 2, quiet problem solver. A week later, you receive a travel order. No announcement. No publicity. You fly quietly to a European city. The church has used discreet envoys like this for centuries. Investigators sent quietly to dioceses when problems arise. You meet a bishop behind closed doors. No press conference. No microphones. Just a conversation in a private office, but he looks tired. The situation is complicated. Local authorities are asking questions. Journalists are preparing articles. Your job isn't conducting a public investigation. Your job is understanding the risk. What information might spread? What could become global? You prepare a report for Vatican leadership, not about guilt, about consequences. The bishop asks one question before you leave. Will this damage the church? You pause. That question matters more than anything else, because the institution is larger than any single person. On the flight back to Rome, you understand your role clearly. Truth matters, but reputation matters more. Level 3, the reputation manager. Now your emails come from diplomats. The Vatican isn't just a religious center. The Holy See operates one of the world's oldest diplomatic networks. More than 180 countries maintain formal relations with it. Those relationships are managed through officials called apostolic nuncios, ambassadors of the Vatican. A controversy now touches several nations. Journalists are contacting embassies. Politicians want explanations. Your job shifts from investigation to narrative. You help draft statements for diplomats, carefully worded messages, transparent but controlled. The press receives information, but never the entire story. Every sentence is reviewed, every phrase measured, because one poorly chosen line could travel through every global news network. You learn something powerful. Public perception is not chaos. It's architecture, and architecture can be designed. Sometimes silence is the most powerful statement. Level 4, crisis containment. The phone rings at 2 a.m. A major controversy just exploded online. International headlines, commentators debating, social media spreading fragments of information faster than anyone can respond. Inside Vatican offices, lights turn on everywhere. Lawyers arrive. Communications staff gather. Crisis meetings begin. Institutions survive crises through coordination, legal advice, public messaging, diplomatic awareness. The Church has faced wars, political revolutions, financial scandals. Every generation learns how to navigate storms. Your job is helping shape the response, drafting statements, editing press releases, preparing answers to questions journalists will ask tomorrow. Every version is revised again and again. You stare at a document on your screen. Point one internal report. If leaked, it could cause global outrage at a single page, thousands of words. Enough to shake the faith of millions. Point one page of paper could shake an entire faith. Level 5. The diplomatic fixer. Your work now crosses borders, because the Vatican is not only a church, that it's a sovereign entity. The Holy See participates in international diplomacy, just like any state. Ambassadors, agreements, negotiations. A government now demands cooperation in an investigation involving church officials. The situation is delicate. Religious authority meets national law. You join quiet meetings with diplomats, private rooms, closed doors. Both sides understand the stakes. Governments want transparency. The church wants stability. Your job is helping find a solution both sides accept. Carefully written agreements, statements that calm tensions. Nobody celebrates these outcomes, but they prevent bigger conflicts. You realize something strange. The church doesn't just preach to nations. Sometimes it negotiates with them. Level 6, Keeper of Archives. Your access level changes. A senior official escorts you into a secure building. Thick walls. Controlled entry. Inside sits the Vatican Apostolic Archive. For centuries, it was known as the Vatican Secret Archive. Now historians and scholars study parts of it. But many documents remain restricted. Records stretching across centuries. Diplomatic correspondence. Historical controversies. Political negotiations between popes and kings. You sit in a quiet reading room that a file from the 19th century sits before you. Another from the early 20th. History suddenly feels very different. Crises you thought were modern happened generations ago. Every era had scandals. Every generation faced pressure. And every generation tried to protect the institution. You realize something unsettling. The system existed long before you arrived. And it will exist long after you leave. The past isn't buried here, it's organized. Level 7, the Inner Circle Advisor. Years pass. Your name now appears on internal briefings. You meet senior officials within the Roman Curia, the administrative body governing the church worldwide. These meetings are quiet, but the decisions affect millions. Your job is predicting crises before they happen. Financial investigations, political conflicts, media storms forming on the horizon. You study trends, public opinion, government actions. One report warns about a potential scandal developing overseas. You prepare 3 contingency plans, different outcomes, different responses. Because institutions survive by thinking ahead. During one meeting, a young staff member asks you something. The same question you asked years ago. Are we protecting the truth or protecting power? The room falls silent. You don't answer. Power in the Vatican rarely appears in public. Level 8, the Invisible Fixer. Your office is smaller now, quieter. You don't attend public events. Your name rarely appears in official documents. But when something serious happens, your phone rings. You operate behind the visible structure, advising quietly, anticipating problems before they grow. Large institutions rely on people history never records. Invisible stabilizers. You don't investigate scandals anymore. You prevent them from spreading. You help shape decisions before they become headlines. Sometimes that means choosing silence. Sometimes it means releasing just enough truth to calm the storm. You become what you once studied, part of the system, part of the protection, part of the machine that keeps a 2,000-year institution standing. Some secrets survive because someone protects them. The office is quiet again, stone walls, old desk. A new assistant sits across from you, nervous, curious, just like you once were. A folder slides across the table, stamped. The assistant hesitates. You watch carefully, because every generation eventually learns the same lesson. Institutions survive through belief, through tradition, through faith. But sometimes they also survive through people willing to guard their secrets. You lean back in your chair and wait for the assistant to open the file.